Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got a good rack. I could have a bingo here. I would have linished or linishes through a D or an S. And shieling onto a G. Not seeing a 7-letter bingo. Great, I've got a D for linished. The only better bingo would be a double-double through the A. But I'm not seeing such a play. Linished for 89. I draw the Z. The rest of the rack not too great. Especially the UV combo. And I may prefer to get rid of U and V ahead of playing off the Z. It really depends on what scoring options are available. I've got love on my rack. I've got volt through the A, and that will be quite nice, retaining the O, which goes well with the Z. Wow, great response from my opponent. He now leads by 50 points. Volt still available. Nowhere huge for the Z. But can I do better than Volt? It doesn't score very much. The C of co-design inhibits parallel plays. My O can go underneath the J. But that doesn't assist with getting rid of U and V. Vug and Gov are good. But Volt scores more. I would have outlive onto an E. No E available. Volt doesn't feel great if I draw I's and O's. Not going to be good. And 16 points not great either. But I'm not seeing anything better. And this does reduce my opponent's ability to score well from the J. Just pausing in case I've got a J play which uses the U and the V. Don't think I do. Great, that could have been a lot worse. This is a really balanced rack. From a T I would have thiazole, so that works with the T of Volt. And the board's quite open, so opponent not necessarily likely to block that opening. And he doesn't. But he bingos, so absolutely fantastic start for my opponent. Both blanks burnt. But I'm not out of it. Thiazole for 90, big score. Also available down from the T of lustrate. Still 2 S's to come. Yeah, I think my current position is better because thiazole in column 14 would allow a parallel play in column 15 through the triple word square. This placement doesn't. I'm going with this. Pretty good. I could have another bingo here, and the board is open. I would have campside, I think, through an S. I've got the Medi prefix. I'm not seeing a 7, but quite a few floaters to consider, in particular the N of linished. Not seeing anything. So what about implaced? I'm not sure about that. It doesn't sound great, and it's not. Am I confusing it with an anagram that is valid? I trail by 17 points with opponent on turn, so I am behind. I'm sure there are some 8s here, but I'm not seeing any so far. Through a T, I would have impacted. No T currently available. So I've got the ED ending. Wow, another bingo for my opponent, 95 points. Absolutely amazing stuff. Can I come back with a bingo of my own? I'm not feeling confident. Look at that T so close to being available for impacted, but it's not. The R isn't a bingo floater. How useful is the E? This could be a game deciding bingo miss if I do overlook a bingo. Quite good that the board is so open since I trail. I've got the mid prefix. And demi prefix. Camp doesn't help. Look at that, the S, which was also a floater I identified as being potentially bingo-y, not available. So what to do? Well, I guess I can just play camped down through the A to score well. I'm a bingo and a half behind, so it's in my interest to keep scoring. This doesn't impede the board too much because it's providing new floaters, and there's the floating N and the floaters in lustrate and column 14, so it's a wide open board. It's only the top or the middle left which is out of action at the moment. Dreadful rack leave. Can I do something about that? 15 minutes on my clock, so tons of time. How about playing in row O? I've got the epi prefix. I haven't considered the K. Demi-pack, impact, not good. Camped really does seriously wreck the rack. So, what about playing decime instead? 42 points, a better rack lead, PA. Creating a new bingo lane in row N. Wow, I really hope I'm not missing. I'm just going to take this back one more time. What about the O? I haven't really considered that. Not seeing anything. Is the A available? It's not. I've considered the N. I don't think Medicap is good. Okay, I think I'm going to go back to decime for 42. Okay, not good. Rack suddenly a long way from a bingo, and I trail by a bingo. I'm still trying to think of bingos from my last rack. Not a good habit. I need to move on. So I've got 2 scoring tiles, and I have a triplicate A which needs sorting out. Now my Y can go next to the K of restoke, but I'm not going to be able to do anything about the A's, so that's not good. I would have Ayala through an L, so I do have Ayala through the L of Thiazoles, it just doesn't score very much. Now I also have it through the L of Volt, and that would be opening up the left-hand side of the board because it would be providing a floating A. So that would play off all 3 A's and the Y, leaving EPO. Pretty good. Not ideal to leave a vowel-heavy rack lead, but when you're starting with 5 vowels, it's hard to avoid that. Ayala doesn't score very much. 17 points. May not be good, but I think it is. Opponent's on a run of 3 back-to-back bingos. Does he have another one in his locker? Now, what about the Z? 24 for my opponent. He's slowing down. That's good. What about this Z? I've got a pay on my rack, keeping 3 vowels. That doesn't play underneath the Z. What about a play down from the D? Not seeing one. So Ayala for 19. Rack leaves okay. It goes quite well with the N and the D. But it's vulnerable to drawing more vowels. However, still 32 tiles to come. I'm going with this. Not good. What am I confusing it with? I thought it was Inuit throat singing. I wonder if it's Alea. Oh well, doesn't matter. Plenty of time. Just wondering about a play through the K. No, so 12 minutes on my clock, 32 tiles still to come. And I need to play off a couple of A's at least. I don't have to play off all 3. So I could play a pace, which isn't great. It doesn't open any new bingo lanes. It obstructs the N or takes out the N in linished, and it leaves the Y. Ideally, I want to play off 2 A's and a Y as a minimum. And I'm not seeing any way to do that. Well, I guess a pay is the candidate play I've got on my rack. I just don't have anywhere to play that. I can play it here. 19 points. I am creating a new bingo lane, but it's not a great one, given the tiles which can go above the P. But I'm opening a 6-letter lane in row O, which would generate new floaters. Look at this rack leave. This is awful. Too bad to do. I could just play Oi. Don't like that. What about playing Yap? 36 points, huge score, shocking rack leave. But I'm going with it. I need to score. I need to keep the scoring going. And that hasn't been as bad as I thought it may be. 33 for my opponent, so I trail by 90. Still 25 tiles to come, still bingo lanes on the board. So what do I have? KE not good. I was just thinking about OWE. I've got AWA. 31 points, that's good. And this rack leave, not too bad. It's slightly vowel heavy, but there is the floating N, which goes well with it. I am inviting a massive column 15 play, but my opponent simply may not have the tiles to achieve that. Can I score anything like 31 points elsewhere? 10 minutes on my clock. And I note that AWE is also available, leaving AOR, slightly better vowel consonant balance. I don't have anything which goes after ZA. My W can go in front of OP. That's no good. This is a hugely volatile play, but I think I need that. Although I trail by 90, that's really a bingo and a bit. I need to score well and I need some luck. I'm going with this. Well, I don't get the luck on this turn. Still too many vowels. But a play of Euro or Roue would leave an improved situation. I think I'll wait to see what happens in the bottom right. So I could play Roue in row I. Not great, it keeps the U. Q still to come. Oh, I've just got to hope that I don't draw it. Unless I can bingo with it. "14 minutes on my opponent's clock, 9 on mine. I trail by 60. I really want to keep this N available. It's a pretty useful floater. Just looking for places to play Euro or Roue. I don't have to play off one of the R's, but I would like to play off E, O and U. So I could play Euro through the R for just 4 points. That's pretty lame when I'm trying to keep the scoring going. V not helpful for parallel plays. I know Ayala didn't work out, but a play through the L of 4 letters would create a new floater, which could be crucial. I don't think rule is good. Wow, 50-point play by my opponent, and he takes out a bingo lane. Great play by my opponent. What can I do about that? I'm just wondering if rule is good. I think it is. So, rule for 16, keeping double ER. I quite like that. This goes well with the R and with the N. I'm going with this. Wow, dreadful stuff. But I'm not quite dead and buried. Probably will be shortly. So I draw the Q. I've got QI in a couple of spots, so I'm not going to be stuck with it. But I'm unfortunately not going to be able to score with it either. Feek onto an H, neither H available. Kneecap through N and A. Kibler onto LA. Nothing doing. Fakir through an A. No A's. So I've got QI and tie. That's probably the best spot I've seen so far. A shame to keep F and B, very non-bingo-y. Maybe I should aim to get rid of the F and the B and hope I draw the Q and bingo with the Q. Trowel, I think, is good. 2 T's left, so let me just check that because it's quite a significant floater. Hook, rather. Yes, so column 1 takes a T in front of Rowel, so Rowel was an even better move than I realised in terms of creating bingo lanes. It's created lanes in columns 1 and 2. So what about playing something like fibre in order to increase my chances of drawing both a U for the Q and one of the T's? Not seen anywhere for fibre. Well, what I do have, and this is interesting, is Phoebe through this E. That's going to be a 30-point play. Gets rid of all my problem tiles. and gives me a chance. Will that spot stay available? Nearly 40 points, I think. I'll still need a bingo to win, but look at the remaining tiles, pretty bingo-y. And with 16 in the bag, I've got the opportunity to maybe play Phoebe this go, to cue the following go, and then a bingo. That spot stays available. Opponent, interesting. Look at that, he's played a T, probably doesn't know the rule hook. So there is hope, and only scores 18 points. He has burnt 5 tiles, which isn't good. I do have a spot for QI, but I think I have better prospects by playing Phoebe for 37. If I draw a U and a T, I could have a play in column 1. Something like requite or requite. So, Phoebe for 37. I missed the U and the T. However, look at this. If I play QI now, 8 tiles in the bag, then my rack leave EEINR, pretty bingo-y. But are there enough bingo lanes on the board? They are shrinking rapidly. It's column 1 and column 2 right now. Will they stay available? I trail by 80. So, opponent a massive favourite, but not surprisingly after that fantastic run of bingos in the early game. Now, I've taken out my QI and tie spot, so at the moment all I've seen is Chi in row B. That could get blocked, which would be problematic. I have Chi and iron. Great, column 1 remains available and the T is still out there. Remaining tiles suddenly become very non-bingo-y, but I'm retaining a bingo-y rack. So after QI, I'm keeping EEINR, and that goes well with pretty much anything I pick up. I am over 100 behind, but an opponent could well empty the bag. If I play Chi here for 24, opponent empties the bag, I bingo. That could be enough, but I have to draw the T. I have 7 minutes. Is there somewhere better for my Q? I am looking to play the I with it. I don't want to have 2 eyes on my rack. Can't see anywhere. I'm going with this. There is Chi below it, but this is better. I missed the T. Okay, that's not looking good. Are there any other floaters on the board I've overlooked? I don't think there is. I think my race is run. Yeah, just not seeing anywhere. Opponent empties the bag. He's got the T. So I now need to minimize the losing spread. Rec is good. Nothing to go between A and O or after it, so that's a dead end. Chin is good, that doesn't assist. I'm not going to block trowel, I don't think my opponent knows it. I'm going to see if I can go out in 2, 6 minutes on my clock. What about a play parallel to forms? JEU is good, so is FEU. Suddenly this board is super tight, can't see anywhere for 5 and 6 other plays. Look at this what I thought was a huge hotspot in column 15, not being used. So is bound good? Or does it only exist with an E? It's not, that's a shame. But it is good with an R, so how does Rin look? Can I go out with Ina? I can. Ina and ME. Is there a second out for Ina? Yes, there is. I have Genie in column 10, so this does guarantee me an out in 2. I think Einar in column 4 will score the most. But is there a further spot I haven't considered? Not that I can see, so it's Genie if Einar is blocked. Just wondering if I have a play through the R, but I can't see one. And I was also looking in column 14 to see if anything slots in here, and it does. I have Einar all the way down here, making neg, dig, and nigh, and re, so all 4 tiles making additional words. Let me see what this scores. So that's 24, and only 20 for column 4, so this is a better spot. I'm going with it. And the final score, 432 to me, 488 to my opponent, a winning margin of 56 points, so fantastic win for my opponent. Let's see what I missed. It was my opponent to go first. He plays Jord and retains the blank, so a great start for him. I have Linished, that is the only bingo. And now great double spot by my opponent with co-design. And this was a troublesome rack. I didn't consider that. Down from the W. Yep, I think that would have been the play. What do I do? I play Volt for 16. Yeah, I'm pretty sure is better. Another great spot by my opponent with Lustrate. And I have Thiazole, so I'm not punished for missing or not playing A14 Thiazole actually scores more. 4 more points, but I still prefer my play. Opponent has Restoke, which was another great spot. Now, critical move. Did I have a bingo? Yes, I did. Pandemic. Wow, what a miss. That is painful because that would have brought me close to my opponent. I can't believe I missed that. I think I had an epidemic running through my mind and I was ruining this A. Pandemic was there. Well done if you spotted that. Gosh, and I played Decime for 42. Definitely an inferior play. Opponent plays Ovoid, and now I'm in difficulty. I'm 100 points behind, and I've got a bad rack. Hey, I didn't think of that. H12. Running to the left of Restoke, that would have been pretty good, although horrible rack leave. So I play Yap in the end for 36, keeping 4 vowels, asking for trouble. Opponent plays Daggy, and I have Awa for 31. Opponent plays X for 50 and still leads by about 100. And I play Rule for 16 and I still like that. Opponent plays Trepan and I'm 110 behind and, well, a bit of an underdog. So I play, well, look at this. I play Feed, but I could have played Beef. Down here, wow, that would have been a better play. Didn't consider that. Having identified this big opening, I then overlooked it. Gosh, horrible rack for my opponent, but he does have the critical T. Plays Forms. And I played Chi for 24. Opponent plays Bound, and now the bag is empty. And I play Rin first. Opponent has Loon, and I go out with Einar for 24. So, a pretty amazing game. Absolutely exploded into life right from the get-go. 3 back-to-back bingos for my opponent. Nearly 3 back-to-back bingos for me, or 3 bingos in close succession, but I missed Pandemic, and that was a critical miss. My opponent then was able to maintain his lead, and I had non-bingo-y racks which didn't quite mature in time to come back at the end. There was still a possibility, but it was a very low possibility. So, amazing game. Well done once again to my opponent for such a fantastic game. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I will see you next time.